Guys, welcome back to my channel. Rudy here. How are you guys doing? Happy Friday. Today we're actually going to be talking about, I'll just give you guys some tips on how you could keep a perfect marital life. We all get married to come and stay happy. We don't leave our parents' houses to come and start struggling in our own homes. So I'll give you some tips that we can apply in our lives, our daily lives, to have a happy home. If it's your first time here, thank you for stopping by and welcome. Please do not leave without subscribing. To you who have already been here, I love you guys and thank you for always being there. So, the first thing we want to do, and this video is actually not for viewers younger than 18. The first thing we want to do in our marriage, that is going to be our foundation, is fidelity. I won't lay emphasis on that because we already know that. We will always live with dialogue. Dialogue has to be one consistent thing we do in our houses because that helps us to air our minds. I keep on talking about this a lot because it helps a lot. Communication is the key in every home, one of the key factors though. And in this dialogue, whenever you are dialoguing with your partner, to have everyone air their minds, you don't have to judge your partner based on what they say. The time you start judging your partners, it means you are opening the doors for them to start straying. Because each time a man or a woman comes to you to confide, you have to be there to accept them. Whether they are saying something wrong or right, you have to be there to accept them and instead help them. I'm basing this on, women because we flare up a lot and we are supposed to be the nurturers. We have to always be there to accept whatever our spouses will tell us. That way, we don't judge them. That way, they can open up to us and they will not need any other person, to go and sit down or go for them to, comfort them. They will always have that in the back of their mind that, oh, my wife, even if I talk to her, she wouldn't judge me. Maybe he will eat food that he doesn't like. He will feel free to tell you that, baby, I don't like this food, the salt or the spices in this, and you just answer, okay, I'm irritated. Instead of you getting mad that your husband has opened up to you, don't judge him. Just do what he has told you. That one is better. Because when they start straying, they are straying because they are lacking something that you don't have. Secondly, we will talk about our finances. How do you manage your finances as a married couple? When you are, single, you have your bank accounts, you're working, you have everything belonging to you. When you marry, you come together as one. You can also merge your accounts. Merging your account is just for peace sake, it's just for transparency, it's just because you don't want a spouse to, you know you don't excuse me, my son is go and have your ice cream, Emmanuel. I'm sorry. So you as what was I saying? I was talking about finances. Your finances could be merged to avoid trouble. You understand? If you, let's say, in a situation where you have a spouse who is married to you, you guys are living in the same house, your spouse doesn't work, and maybe you as a man is working, and in this house the woman doesn't have access to your account, she doesn't know anything that you do with your money, and she is just home because maybe there are kids and she has to take care of those children. Deep in her, she won't be happy. But now, if there is a lack of dialogue where she can come to you and open up because she is maybe scared that if I say it, the man will bring it into will quarrel with me or something, she wants to avoid it. It now stays in her as as a grudge, and sometime later it will there will be grudges that she'll be keeping in there, and when it's too much it can lead to a broken home. So what you can do in a situation like this is to be transparent, merge your accounts, because when you guys marry you become one. There is no need to have those separate accounts. I know of people who have actually divorced because of that. There's and in this case it wasn't even the man, it was the woman who had more money and the man was making less, and she refused to join her accounts with him. And whenever he tried to find out from her, like, what do you do with your money? I do this, I do this, and why don't you give me any account of the money that you work? and she was like, I worked so hard to make my money, I can't tell you, and all those type of things. Now it brings, you guys don't want to live in loggerheads. You don't want your partners to be doubting you, and all those things that don't bring peace in the home should be avoided. The only way to avoid it is to match your accounts, let finances be transparent. That way, you know that together we sit on the table, together we decide, okay, this money is for bills, this money is for this one is for this one is the money that we can use on our own self, this one is for our savings. Everything is clear. Clarity brings peace in your home. The third thing I'll be talking about is for us to have a good conflict resolution skill. In every marriage, there is nobody who will tell you that I have never had any issues with my spouse. You guys are humans, and sometimes our attitudes are changing. We are learning. That's why we say marriage is a process that you learn every day. And as you are learning, the person you met 10 years ago is not the same person today. There are changes that will occur, and those things will always bring some little conflicts. And if you are not, you know if you guys don't have a good way of solving your conflicts, then the marriage will not work. Why? Because the moment you have to quarrel, and you don't have a good conflict solving technique, you will plunge yourself into problems, because there will be no way for you to solve that problem. What you can do in this situation is to always be together against any issues that come to you guys. Like, no matter what the situation is in any marriage, let it not affect you and your spouse. Both of you are supposed to be one against any third party. Both of you are always supposed to be one against any conflict that comes in. That way, you know that you will quarrel, but you are quarreling against that conflict, against whatever has come, and it's not against you guys. That way, you will see some people who will quarrel, like, oh, you think that this thing is going to be over today. The next thing, as they go upstairs, they are coming down smiling at each other. That is what you guys should plant in your home. Love, peace is the key in your marriage. We already know that we have to sacrifice. When you get married, like I said in the last video, sacrifices are made. You make a lot of sacrifices for your marriage. There are sometimes in life, some people may be working, let's say your job makes you to travel a lot. Before you met your husband or you met your wife, your job was making you to move from one state to another. Today you are in this place, tomorrow you're in this place. Okay, now you are married. That job that you work, you love so much. Your wife or your husband met you like that. That is what is giving you a lot of money. But at some point in time, you have to put a halt to that. That is why you will put sacrifices that you will make to give yourself pleasure, because you want to satisfy a spouse. If your spouse starts to complain, like, see, your job is taking a lot of time, you are always on the go or on the move, and I am tired of staying alone, you will have to sit down and review. If your job is a job that makes you to move a lot, you will have to try to look for a job that gives you that is around you guys. If you cannot go with your spouse, then you will have to look for something that has to be around you guys. That way, because those are sacrifices that you have to do for your spouse. Because sometimes if your spouse complains to you, like, you are going and you're like, that's my job, that's how I make my money, if I don't have this, if you cannot instead look for a means to get something else or something around you guys that will be closer, you are opening the doors for a strained man or a strained woman, because sometimes they have their needs that they may start going astray because they want to go and satisfy. So try to sacrifice. It doesn't only apply to that. There are other things that will give you pleasure and will be displeasurable for your other spouse. So what you have to do is to sacrifice, see into it when you guys are dialoguing, understand, and then you take a decision that will favor both of you. I have to leave it here for today. We'll continue to next time. So please like, share, and leave me your comments down below. I love you guys. See you.